talking to Mr. Jerry Lee, who's the president of AFL-CIO, and Kwame LLillard, who is the president of the African American Cultural Alliance. And we're dealing with some issues that have developed since the recent General Assembly dealt with unions and with tenure and a number of other things. And of course, Mr. Lee, let's have you and Leo, let's start with you, because I think we promised we were going to open with you.
I think we need to go back to what the young lady said about teachers and principals. I saw a sign in North Carolina 30 years ago, huge billboard all down Highway 40, and it said, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. And right now, it seems like many people who are in that state capitol want to try ignorance, and we're not going to let them. Nobody I know, including that young lady or her mother, or any decent parent is going to let the legislator try ignorance on Tennessee. We're not going to stand for it. People are going to go down there on lunch hours. They're going to flood the emails. They're going to do whatever they can to make sure, as that young lady says, that we have to have literate people in our state who can read whether a fountain is black or white, who can read anything that requires that person to hold and maintain a decent job that will boost our economy. We cannot afford ignorance, because ignorance means that no job. Ignorance means people can come to our state and put all kind of economic scams on us, like that thing down there in Murfreesboro, that make-believe project that nobody did any research. That's ignorance. We don't want a working force that's ignorant. We want a working force that is something that's a prize for us, that can attract industry and create jobs. Bring those jobs back that Jerry talks about. They're everywhere except here. We can bring them back. We're going to bring them back, because we're going to have a reason for them to come back. We're going to have some smart, intelligent, efficient, loyal workers.
As a matter of fact, as the president of the AFL, you've been accused of being the leader, Jerry, of this activity, bringing all these folks together. And
I would be proud to take full credit for it, but there were a lot of people involved. Social media probably got 500 people there. People came from all over the state. Other groups participated in the planning. And not only union groups, but community groups and faith-based groups. So it was a real coalition of people, and I think they're all trying to say we're fed up, we're not going to take it anymore. Some of these regressive laws that they're passing against unions to weaken unions, where, for instance, they're not going to allow for the employer to withhold the dues to pay them to the union, and when that happens and people start having to pay on their own, they're going to forget it. They're not going to be able to afford it this week, and it's going to weaken the unions in that manner financially. But they're also trying to take away their right to collectively bargain the terms and conditions of their employment, and it's just unconscionable. We've had those rights. Now, public employees don't really have the right to collectively bargain a contract. They can have a memorandum of understanding. But the fact is the teachers have had the right to a contract since 1978, and I think our schools have done very well under that contract and under those conditions. They're trying to say that other teachers that choose not to belong to the union are not represented. That's not true. The union represents every worker in this state. It's a right-to-work state. People that are in the union in Tennessee are there because they want to be, not because they have to be.
And they remember things like not having weekends off. They remember things when their boss could fire you on the spot.
That's right.
When they remember when somebody that age of that child had to work. Now that's what unions brought to America. Nobody wants that back. Nobody in their right mind in the state wants to see unions gone from the state, because you're going to have that same kind of abuse of everybody. And nobody's going to take it. Now, everybody who's listening to your show ought to decide how many hours this coming week they're going to devote to figuring out who to call to talk about this union-hating, busting attempts by the state legislature.
And you would certainly encourage that. What would you say to these folks that are out there this morning in reference to
let their voice be heard, come out and support these efforts, join these efforts. We will publicize them. Social media has picked up on this, and they're really helping to develop crowds and what have you to come to these events. The national AFL-CIO, by the way, I'm the Tennessee AFL-CIO president. Rich Trumka is the national president. And we have this We Are One campaign that's going to revolve around April the 4th and building up to and away from. And we want small events, we want big events, we want everybody to talk about the fact that we are one. that we in this country are losing our freedoms.
And so you're saying the working man in Tennessee as well as across America really is in a dire strait.
We're under attack, and it's a frontal attack and it's a broad attack, and we are under attack.
April 4th is the day the king was killed. So that should rally